Good afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor at Madison365, with your daily update for Friday, Memorial Day weekend, Friday, May 28th. The update today is brought to you by Community Shares of Wisconsin, celebrating their backyard heroes today. Community Shares of Wisconsin marks its 50th anniversary, recognizing volunteers with the Anniversary Backyard Hero Awards. Andy Geisler shares IT consulting expertise to assist with project management and critical analysis. And special projects volunteer Catherine Kimport dedicates hundreds of hours to analyses and office projects. These volunteers help ensure the success of family community shares of Wisconsin and its member nonprofits. And thank you to them for all that they do. Um, let's jump right into the coronavirus numbers because these are I'm very happy about these numbers. We are looking at today 226 new cases out of about 2,400 new test results. So that the percentage there is just under 10%, well, just over 9%, I guess, of the new results. These are first time negative tests or first time positive tests. It's about 9%, which is about where it's been for the past 3 days. So that's fine. The 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 really good number is that the positive test rate for the last 7 days, 2.1%. We haven't seen it that low since the middle of March. So 2.5 months almost, which is great. We want that to be below 3.0, right? 3.0, there's nothing magical about 3.0, but basically 3.0 means you're testing enough to be catching as many cases as you possibly can in order to isolate them and contact trace, right? Public health folks will tell you 3.0 is an indicator that you've got it more or less under control. It's not over, right? It's not like we get to 3.0 and we win and we can all burn our masks and not get vaccinated. That's not it at all, right? We're still in a pandemic until the World Health Organization declares COVID-19 eradicated. We are still in a pandemic. Um, and we still have to act like we're in a pandemic. That said, this is very encouraging toward that pandemic no longer really meaningfully affecting the entire the state of Wisconsin at large, which is great. Now the other number that I don't love is 13 fatalities reported today, but again yesterday they snuck 37 up on us. The state did. So these are fatalities that took place probably over the last several months. Okay, so we didn't lose 13 people today. These are 13 death certificates. I mean, to be clear, these are 13 human beings who died because of COVID, right? So we don't want to gloss over that. But these are 13 people whose death certificates have just today been confirmed that the cause of their death was COVID, but they probably happened over the past several months. With that, though, that puts our 7 day average of reported deaths at 10, which is falsely high. The actual number of deaths per day right now is about 2, I think. Um, 3. The state says that as of yesterday, the state dashboard data is always 1 day behind, but they report 4 new confirmed deaths yesterday and 0 new probable deaths, which puts the 7 day average of reported deaths at 3. Okay. Now the total death toll now is 7,053, which is frankly quite a lot. Um, okay, so that is the spread numbers. The vaccine numbers. This is the not so good news: is that vaccines are just slowing and slowing and slowing. Today, we're down to 16,634 doses per day in the past 7 days. That is not nearly enough, folks. Not nearly enough. That was 64,000 not very long ago, on April 11th. That peaked at 64,000 doses a day. but like everybody who was really into getting it got it apparently. And now we're down to 16,000 doses a day. 16,000 a day still sounds like a lot, but you're talking statewide. That's not enough. We are now at 41.7%, which is the total of the state's population. 41.7% are vaccinated. That's just so slowly creeping up. We're trying to get that to 80%. You know, now I will say this: the most vulnerable populations, in terms of age, okay, are way ahead of the rest of us. Okay, 65 plus, 83% of people 65 and older are vaccinated. That's great. 65% of those 55 to 64 are vaccinated. This is people who've gotten one shot. Let me switch over to people who've completed the series. 80% of those 65 and older, 58% of those 55 to 64, 47% of people my age, 45 to 54. So as you go older, you're doing better in terms of vaccine. Now, those 12 to 15, which are the newest, the most recently eligible category, 18% have gotten their first shot, but very, very few of them, like it's listed at 0%. There's a small number of kids who've gotten the single dose. 53 kids are fully vaccinated, which is basically 0% of the population. So, but again, that was just a couple weeks ago that it got approved for kids 12 to 15. So you got to wait a couple more weeks before they can get that second shot. Racial disparities is still a big issue, though. Like I mentioned, 47% of the entire population is vaccinated. I'm sorry, 41.7 of the total population. But only 19% of the Black population. Only 25% of the Native American population. Only 35% of the Asian population and 39% of the white population are vaccinated, and only 25% of the Hispanic population. So that continues to be a significant problem. But I know the state is working on it. Lots of local nonprofits are working on it. We are working on it to try to get that word out that vaccines could save your life. And the vaccine is getting vaccinated is your little contribution to ending this pandemic. Right? That's the crux of it. That it's we're trying to get to 80%. Like each person who gets vaccinated is a tiny bit of 1% toward that 80. So think about it. If you've been fearing it, don't fear it. Just get it. And if you've been, if it's just going to be inconvenient for you, find a way to get it. Right. Okay, that's the COVID news. We're going to take a short pause, hear from our sponsors at EW Health, and then we'll have more local and national news for you right on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Don't scroll away. We'll be right back.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care,
we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
All right. We are back. Thank you for sticking with us. The feature this morning was this new program at Lift Dane, which is a legal aid organization here in Dane County, has a new program called the Legal Tune-Up. And you can go, if you need the help with this, you can go to the Urban League here in Madison that can help you, or Legal Aid Wisconsin can help you, or you can do it on your own. There's a few steps. It says it's automated, but you still got to do a few steps. You got to get fingerprinted and stuff. But basically, This will clean up your record if you've got arrest records and court records that did not result in a conviction, right? If you're arrested for something and never charged, or if you're charged and the charges are dismissed, or if you're charged with something and you go to trial and you're found not guilty, like none of those things should affect your life, but they do. Right? If you're looking for a job or housing, and somebody CCAPs you, you go to CCAP, which is the online court record, and they see you were arrested for armed robbery, and it'll say on there, this person was found not guilty. It's illegal to discriminate. You know, people discriminate, and you know, people of color are more likely to be in that situation, right? Where you get arrested falsely or whatever. So this program will help you clean that up and get those things off your record. So if somebody Googles you, they're not finding that stuff. It can't get rid of convictions, right? Or charges that were related to convictions, but it can clean up those other ones that shouldn't be on your record to begin with. So take a look at that. Angelica Ussery has that story for us on Madison365.org this morning. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, earlier this week, the Racial Equity Ad-hoc Committee had its second meeting, and they're just kind of getting their bearings, right? They're just trying to figure out what's the scope of our work, what are our priorities, how are we going to go about this. They have a 2-year mission, right, to implement the Brown County Board of Supervisors' decision to declare racism a public health crisis. That declaration was made in February. We did a little bit of reporting on that already. This is part of our project with the new News Lab, the collaboration with a bunch of other newsrooms up in Green Bay area. And Kynella Phillips, our reporter, was at that meeting and has that story for you on Madison365.org right now. Turning now to the national news, there is an effort passed through the House of Representatives to create a commission to investigate what happened on January 6th, the insurrection at the United States Capitol. In the Senate, 54 people voted in favor, including 6 Republicans, and 35 voted no on cloture, which means even though 54 people voted for it, it can't happen because you need 60. Mitt Romney of Utah, Susan Collins of Maine, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Rob Portman of Ohio, Alaska's Lisa Murkowski, and Ben Sass of Nebraska all voted in favor. And all the other Republicans, including our friend here, Ron Johnson, voted no. So that's not going to happen for now. I think obviously this is not a big shock, not a surprise. But it's likely now that there still will be some sort of commission, but it'll end up being partisan, as the Republicans don't want to play along. So, but we'll see what happens. So that is the news for today. It's a Friday afternoon on a holiday weekend, so it's a short program today. We'll be back. I will very likely be back on Monday. If not, I'll be back Tuesday. We'll see how the weekend shapes up. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend. And take care, and we will see you soon.
This is 365 Media.